And welcome to Nancy's Neighborhood, folks. And it's great to have you all with us today. And I have some super guests today that are going to talk about totally different things, which I think is absolutely awesome. And the first one is something that this very near and dear to my heart, and because it's health related and it's Tenova related and it's American Heart Association related. So I am so thrilled to have Taryn Anderson, and who is with the American Heart Association, and Stephanie Austin with Tenova Healthcare, here to talk to us about Go Red for Women's Heart.
That's right.
Thanks for having us.
I'm thrilled to death to have y'all. So kick us off here and tell us what we want to talk about.
Yeah. Well, I'll kind of start.
Okay.
I came into the Cleveland area in 2008, and I had always partnered with the American Heart Association, really because I believed in their mission to, number one, raise awareness about heart disease, about stroke, and then also women,
Yes.
women and heart disease.
Yes.
And I'm not going to say that I might be stubborn myself, but I absolutely have heart disease in my family.
Okay.
And being someone that knows that it's in their family, as a female, as a mother, as someone who works, who's probably, okay, I'm a type A. I'll admit it, I'm a type A.
Yes, she is. I'll say
yes,
she is.
So, you sit and listen to it, well, that's never going to happen to me.
Right.
And I think really for me, my passion and what I'm excited about is really putting out more awareness on women. It is time for us to take care of ourselves. And here's a really good way to do that. And for those that don't know, I'll let Taryn say the statistic, but you need to listen.
Right.
Yeah. So unfortunately, heart disease is the #1 killer of women.
Yes.
Our doctors have done a great job of
Yes.
educating us about breast cancer and what to
Right.
look for and
Right.
things like that. But what we don't realize a lot of times is that heart disease kills more women than all forms of cancer combined. And that was really wild for me when I first started at the American Heart Association.
It's probably wild for our listening audience.
Absolutely.
They're going,
It
Yeah.
is.
you got to be
The
kidding.
number
Exactly.
one killer.
Yes.
The #1 killer of American women and men. But you know what? The great thing is that 80% of it is preventable. And so you
Right.
can do
That's-
something about it. You can make a lifestyle change. You can pay attention when your body's telling you something. You can do something about it. And I think that's the great thing, is that it's empowering to know we can do something about it. It's empowering to know that we have a say in this.
Right.
So when you do go visit your doctor at Tenova, and rather than just saying, well, I'm okay, tell them you've been having that back pain. Tell them you've been having that anxiety, because our symptoms don't look like men's.
Okay, now this is just what I was getting ready to. I'm glad you segued into that, because we know what to look for in men. Pain down the arm, chest pain, elephant
Correct.
sitting on your chest, et cetera, et cetera. But that's not necessarily what you look for in women.
No.
Yeah.
So
No.
share those.
It can be very different. And
Right.
I'll be honest, every person's heart attack or heart event can feel different for
Right.
them. And so even if you have 1 or 2 symptoms, go ahead and go to the emergency room.
Right.
Or if you're having,
Yes.
just go get it checked out. I would rather pay that copay and feel a little embarrassed, and maybe find something different versus ignore it and not wake up the next morning.
Right.
So for women, a lot of times it is the anxiety feeling. That's what I hear over and over from female survivors, is feeling like, gosh, I just felt like something wasn't right, feeling anxious. Rapid heartbeat. Pain in your chest can be present in women, but a lot of women say that sort of elephant sitting on your chest.
Uh-huh.
And we hear a lot about jaw pain in
Yes,
women.
yes.
It never fails that a woman that's had a heart attack says, well, I had jaw pain and pain in my back. That didn't seem like a heart attack to me. That's not my chest. That's not my arm. It's none of those things. It's not necessarily what we call a Hollywood heart attack, in the movies where you see someone grab an arm and
Right.
fall on the floor. That's not it at all.
Right.
So it's very different for everyone, but pay attention to your body. You know what's wrong for you or what's right for you.
And indigestion is one of those things that people say, well, I took a Tums. It'll
Yep.
be all right. Maybe, maybe not.
I can tell you, as I work in healthcare, literally 2 weeks before my episode, I was talking about the signs and symptoms of heart disease, heart attack,
Yeah.
and all of that. And literally, it was my coworkers who were watching me. I was in mid-sentence, and then the pain hit, and I stopped. And And they're like, well, what is that? And I'm like, it is nothing, because that's what you do. We got to take care of our family. We got to
Right,
take care of work. We
right.
got to do all that. I'm like, everything is fine. It was nothing. When the third episode hit and it got worse and worse and worse, I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have heart disease in my family. I have a daughter. I do not need to ignore this.
Right.
And luckily, we caught mine in time. So it's a positive outcome. But what I'm really excited about is, again, we need to lift up our women in the community, let the families lift up the women, and we are very excited to announce an event that we're bringing in this year.
Yes, and I'm excited too about this event. So share the event.
Yeah. So we are bringing the Go Red for Women movement to life in Cleveland with the Go Red for Women breakfast. It's going to be happening September 12th. So we're just about a month out.
Yes.
We are selling table sponsorships. People can go online and purchase tickets. Or if people just are passionate about it and maybe they don't want to attend the event, they can go online and make a donation as well
Oh,
to the American
okay.
Heart
Very good.
Association. One of the big things that we're working on right now is to make sure that women a lot of times have not been included in a lot of these heart studies.
Yes.
And so our research is pushing towards including male and female specific research. So why is it that women's heart disease looks different in women than men?
Right.
We don't have the answer to that. We need to figure that out.
Yes.
And so that's what we're trying to do with this movement, is not only educate women and encourage them, but also at the same time raise money for the mission of the Heart Association.
Right.
Tennessee was recently designated as the most obese children in the nation.
Oh, golly.
And so,
Yes.
if you think about these moms that are, today school started for my family.
Right.
I was just trying to get them to school, and I kind of stopped for a second after they got, in the school building and was like, wait a second, I didn't think about what my lunch was for today. Now I've got to check my all those things.
Right.
And that's what a lot of our moms and women are dealing with, in our community is, are we caring for our parents? Are we caring for our children? Are we caring for our husbands?
Yes.
Our coworkers? All these places that we're in charge, and we also need to be in charge of our own health.
Right,
truthfully.
absolutely. And the thing about it is, I think from when we used to have Healthy Woman at Tenova, the thing that we found out there was the women make most of the medical decisions for their
100%.
family.
Yep.
Right.
But oftentimes for their family doesn't include them.
Exactly.
Correct.
And that's
Correct.
the sad thing about it, because they're so concerned with their husband, maybe their parents, maybe their children, that they just ignore themselves.
And I think, our cardiologists have said this over and over. The thing about heart disease is it can be preventable.
Right.
It really can
Right.
be preventable. And it doesn't mean you have to wake up today and go and do a marathon. That's not
Yeah.
what it's
Oh,
about.
good.
It's just making
Yeah.
making healthier choices, putting activity. You don't need to walk for 10 hours. You could go out and walk for 15 to 20 minutes. It's not that you have to be an athlete by the end of the year.
Yeah.
It's really just making some subtle changes,
Right.
acknowledging it. And knowing your own family history is huge
Oh,
to help
that is huge. That's very
Yes.
huge. And you don't have to give up your fried chicken. You just have to give up eating fried chicken every night.
Correct.
Absolutely.
You know, you
Correct.
can still have some fried chicken, but you just need to, do it sparingly and not eat fried and greasy food all the time. And
Right.
and you need to eat healthy food. And I'm the very person not to talk about this, but you need to eat healthy foods and your vegetables and your fruits, et cetera,
Yeah,
et cetera.
right.
So, all right, let's go back and talk about this event a minute. So, because I want everybody to be sure that they know how to get their tickets and how to come and how to listen. Now, we have a speaker.
That's
Okay.
right. We'll have a local honoree that'll be telling her story
Okay.
of heart disease.
Okay.
And sort of just illuminating for everybody that this is not just someone so far off.
Right.
I got you.
It's right
Okay.
here in our
Right.
community.
Right.
I think all of us could probably point to someone who has dealt with heart disease or stroke. But having someone locally tell their story, I think always sort of helps
I agree.
everybody connect to the mission.
agree.
We'll have some times there too. Tenova's going to be providing blood pressure screenings for us.
Ah, okay.
So we want women to know their numbers. So when you come in for this event, the first half is truthfully sort of a experience, right? We'll have a photo booth and an
Right.
opportunity for people to find out about their numbers and kind of go, okay, if I'm not in the range that I need to be, now what do I do, Stephanie? Where
Right.
do I
Right.
go next?
Right.
Mhm.
Right.
To know that we do have these great, clinicians just down the street who can help us with this and
Absolutely.
put that prevention into place.
Absolutely. So it's a breakfast, and it's going to start at what time in the morning?
We're going to open our doors at 8:30.
Okay.
The program will begin around 9 a.m.
Okay.
And then we'll be done by 10:15.
Okay.
Yes.
We don't
Sounds
want to
good.
take up your whole day. We want to get you inspired and encouraged and tell you you what you need to know about signs and symptoms and get you out there in the community so you can tell your girlfriends.
Well, I'm going to tell y'all a real quick story. My grandmother lived to be 102.
Wow.
And she lived with my husband and I for the last 4 years of her life. And every morning she ate 2 scrambled eggs, 2 pieces of white toast, 2 pieces of bacon, and drank a cup of coffee. And my brother was visiting one day, and he came in and saw what she had in front of her for breakfast, and he said, "Oh, good grief, Granny, don't you know that that's going to kill you?" I said, "Excuse me, she's going to have her 102nd birthday next week."
Yeah.
So evidently, genetically, it was okay
It
for
was
her
good
to
for
do
her.
that.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily genetically okay for all of us to
Right.
do that.
Right.
But she had done it all her life.
And I'm going to guess that your granny was a little more active than
She was a real active
than
lady.
most
Yes,
of us
that's
Real
are
active.
today.
Yes,
And so
yes, very active.
that's one of our things. You know, our Healthy for Good movement at the Heart Association is about move more. So exactly what Stephanie was saying, just move more than you normally would. Eat smart. So what you were saying about, you know, we know the fried chicken's not smart, but we're not saying
But it
that
sure
every
is
meal
good.
has to be
Correct,
perfect.
exactly.
You know, that's an occasional treat.
Right.
Add color. Those fruits and vegetables. She probably
Yes.
ate a lot of fruits and vegetables and be well. She probably didn't have the stresses that we all have now with cell phones going off all the time. and-
24/7 access.
You're right.
Exactly.
Right,
Our
right.
our society is different, honestly, and that's one reason that with Go Red for Women, we are targeting a lot of millennial women.
Correct.
Good.
I'm on the very edge of that,
Okay.
but I count because I'm thinking about my parents' health. I'm thinking about my children's health, and you're right. I'm not always thinking about my own health
Right.
first.
Right.
So,
I mean, it's just what we do.
It is what
I mean, there's
absolutely.
other priorities that come in front of us.
Correct.
And so once you get those priorities fixed, then you look at yourself, but you may have already developed something
Absolutely.
that you need to have not developed.
And there's so much, just speaking on behalf of the hospital, we're so excited as far as the direction with our cardiology program,
Yes.
what we're bringing to the community
Yes.
with resources. Soon we'll be opening a second cath lab.
That is
so,
awesome.
I mean, and we're bringing more and more cardiac professionals in, and that just continues to provide additional education. Every event we go to, we work to provide education on what the signs and symptoms are. Honestly, it could be a grandparent has their grandchild, and we've got the signs and symptoms of a heart attack or a stroke on the refrigerator. They know to call 911.
Right.
You know, something happens. It's those simple things. Education. We just need to continue to
Right.
really reach out to everyone.
right.
And I tell you what I love too about Tenova is I love a lot of things about Tenova, but one thing I love about Tenova is our rehab center we have
cardiac
there.
rehab program
The
is
cardiac rehab,
unbelievable.
yes, and you have people that probably had a heart attack 10 years
Yes,
ago,
and
they're
there.
still coming.
And they are healthier than I am. I'm
Absolutely.
just going to tell you that right now.
Absolutely. I mean,
They're proud to be
They
there.
are, and,
They,
and
it's a social hour, and they have a great time. But when I'm there, just walking through, because I've asked if I could participate, and they said no. but
well,
you know,
and the Hicks family was instrumental.
Hicks family, yes.
in really helping that cardiac rehab program
Right,
grow.
right.
And unfortunately, they have battled heart disease in
Yes.
their family and
Yes.
lost their son,
Right.
who is a
Early.
well-known
I mean, yes.
member of the community,
Right.
and we've had the Heart Walk dedicated to that. And
Yes.
so, again, it's that kind of support from our community and from individuals who understand what we're talking about.
right, right. Okay, so now tables are available.
Tables are
Do you wanna,
available.
Do you want to tell us table prices?
It's $1,000 for
Okay,
table.
for a table of 8.
And that's a sponsorship.
Okay.
So there's some other things that come along
Okay,
with that.
gotcha.
And they can go to bradleygored.heart.org.
Okay.
Or contact me at 763-4404, and we can talk about sponsorships. Individuals can purchase tickets. They're
Okay.
$25 for a
Okay.
ticket. They'll be available online, or you can contact us if you don't want to purchase them
I
online.
understand. There are people like me who don't like to do that
Yeah,
online.
and we are looking for volunteers as well. So
Right.
you may be a
Right.
passionate volunteer. Maybe you want to share your story at some point. We're always looking for either survivors or people just to help us with the logistics of the event.
Right. And now this is a breakfast, so we will be eating. Probably
Mm-hmm. right.
not eggs, bacon, and
We're
Gravy,
trying
I
to make
mean,
a healthy choice the
healthy.
easy choice.
Okay,
Yes.
good.
Mhm, that's
good.
right. So
because I had breakfast, I had a breakfast meeting today, and I had a cheese omelet with home fries, but I had wheat toast.
There you
okay?
go.
I had wheat toast.
there you go. It's balanced.
So,
Balance
but
it
I
out.
won't do that again for another 3 or 4 weeks. So, it is so great to have you all on
Yeah.
with me today, and I'm so excited about this breakfast coming up, and it's coming up September the 12th.
That's right.
And it will be at Life Care Center.
Mm-hmm.
And so we have on the screen, hopefully, there's contact information,
Mm-hmm.
and I will continue to promote this when I do my little news snippets after
love that.
each show, I will continue to promote this until we get there, because I will be there that day.
And we appreciate Life Care Centers
Yeah.
really
Oh, yes.
helping us with this
Yes,
initiative.
that's awesome. It really, really is. So, ladies, thank you all so
Thank
much.
you.
Karen,
Welcome.
it's nice to see you again.
to see
We
you,
may
Nancy.
have met a couple of times, because
Uh-huh.
before we aired, I was telling them about the Go Red for Women Heart auction that I was 10 years ago, and I didn't realize it's been that long ago.
Yeah.
But it was a great event, and we had a super time, and so I'm excited that y'all are back in the community now, as not just for a fun event, but for educational purposes too,
Yeah.
because that is great. So thank you all so much,
Thanks, Nancy.
and
you.
we'll keep talking about this. And if I don't see you, and I'm sure I'll see you, but if I don't see you before, I'll see you on September the 12th.
Thank you.
Great to see
Thank
y'all there.
you.
Okay, folks, don't go away now. Watch my commercials because and support our sponsors, because they pay our bills. And I'll be right back, because you need your monthly update about what's happening at our library. So don't go away. I'll be right back.